changes. All right, 6 o'clock, we'll get started. All right, the Grand Rapids Town Board is meeting today, Wednesday, November 8th, 2023 at 6 p.m. at the Town of Grand Rapids Municipal Building. First agenda item is Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, next agenda item is approve agenda for meeting. Any changes? Okay. Third agenda item, approve minutes of the October 11th, 2023 Town Board meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second it.
Okay, any discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Next agenda item is public comment. People wishing to address the board will be limited to 2 minutes each, with the public comments limited to a total of 30 minutes. And if you could please stand and state your name as well.
Matthew Bronson. I live at 5211 Leach Avenue, just down the road here. And I saw the agenda topic about the stop sign, the intersection. It's later on the agenda here. First, I'd seen that on the agenda, but I just wanted to speak to that. I'm a registered professional engineer, civil engineer, and my day job is director of the Wisconsin Department of Transportation regional office here in Wisconsin Rapids. And so a lot of background in transportation and transportation safety, responsible for thousands of miles of our state highways in this area. And I'm concerned about the logic behind making it a two-way stop. As much as it's convenient, actually for me personally, more convenient to not have to stop in certain instances. I just want to caution you for the skew of the intersection is at an angle that I've professionally seen in a lot of cases that skew can actually have a lot of problems with two-way stops, because for older drivers, they have a hard time making that turn to the left with the hard skew, and so that can cause problems with seeing vehicles coming. And then the other thing is looking at the intersection, at least with my vehicle, in several of the directions, your A-pillar, so your pillar at the front of your car on the right side, blocks vehicles coming. And if that's at the wrong location, it can be dangerous. So just wanted to make sure that, I just wanted to express that opinion and maybe take that into consideration when you make the decision. I think the idea behind directing traffic to the roundabout is the right idea. I think there's other ways that could be done. I know originally the county proposed putting a right in, right out at 45th Avenue. Personally, I think that was the right thing to do because that would have definitely eliminated those lefts onto W and obviously inconveniencing some of the individuals that live in the neighborhood, but that would have done exactly what the resolution to go to a two-way stop I believe is trying to achieve. So I just cautious you on that. If you're not having crashes due to the stop signs now, I think maybe reconsidering that might be a good idea. So, thank you.
Thank you. Sure.
Yeah, we're on headline 2521 Blueberry Lane. I noticed the same thing Matt was just mentioned with the art scene around the corners and stuff like that, especially with the pillar there. If you do decide to go with this, there should be no doubt for the folks that are stopped on Wazeecha that 48th Street traffic doesn't stop. I mean, they're used to it. We're going to have somebody pulling out there in front of somebody else, and it's going to be an issue. So, I understand for the garbage and recycling, it wasn't a competitive bid process, and I'd like to understand why that was. Possibly somebody could address it either in their when you go around the table for your comments or at the end of the meeting or something like that. And then I noticed that there's a lot of light glare there's a light in River City's high school parking lot. If you're coming westbound on W at night, it's very distracting. Most of it is coming from the light for the parking lot in the southwest corner of River City's high school. Bud's Food Ranch over here is as a contributor to it. Even though, even this light that shines across the street here could be an issue, as well as the one in the parking lot back here. Just take a look at that. I called Bill the other day and I asked him about it. Did you do anything with it yet?
Somebody from the county did come out here last night, and they'll make a report at the, Friday at the highway committee meeting.
Okay. I didn't know whose responsibility that was. I started with Bill, so. That's it, thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment? Okay. All right, we'll move on to monthly reports from the departments. Fire department.
Evening, board and residents. Report for October 2023. We're currently staffed at 45. We're always looking for motivated individuals for fire and EMS. Stop by the fire station or contact me if you have any interest in serving your community. This last month, in the month of October, we had 50 calls for service, consisting of 39 EMS calls and 11 fire calls for service. So there was 8 calls in Grand Rapids, 1 in Saratoga. We had no action in Grant last month. We had 2 mutual aid calls, both with Nakusa. Consisted of a structure, 2 mutual aid, 2 false alarm, 2 motor vehicle accidents, 2 gas leak smells, and 2 carbon monoxide calls was our breakdown on the monthly calls last month. For training, the EMS group focused in on backboarding, spinal mobilization, extrication. Some of them double trained with fire. Under fire, we did extrication. We broke everybody down into smaller groups. We did 4 groups and we tore up 5 vehicles. Courtesy thanks to Neiman's Service for providing those vehicles for us. Our meeting information, we had 1 department monthly meeting, 5 training meetings, 1 officer meeting. Public relations for the month was extremely busy. We sent our ladder 1 and a crew to fly the flags for the annual run with the cops on October 5th. We performed fire prevention and safety education with students from Woodside 4K, Building Blocks, Grant Elementary, K through 2nd grades, and the Pitch Early Learning Center 4K. We attended the State Firefighters Memorial Annual Service where Riley Harris's name was put on the wall for his line of duty death, and hosted a dinner between events in cooperation with Kevin and Tammy Harris for the line of duty death families and attendees. We also attended St. Luke's Truck or Treat event and held a quarterly retiree breakfast. So, one other thing we attended, Grand Rapids Fire and Grand Rapids PD attended the Wisconsin Rapids Public Schools Crisis Team meeting on October 2nd at the District Central Office, which is at least an annual meeting, if not more, on disaster planning, and God forbid it ever happen at one of our schools. Our smoke detector program, we did 2 homes this month. Our address sign, we did 2 last month, and there was no reportable injuries in the town in the month of October. Anything from the board? Okay.
Thank you.
You bet.
And police department.
Good evening, everybody. The Grand Rapids Police Department for the month of October 2023 handled 405 calls for service compared to 380 calls for service in 22, 6.5% increase in calls. Everybody on the board should have a breakdown of the calls in their packets. We issued 46 traffic citations, 25 municipal ordinance citations, 46 warnings for the month of October. October 5th, the Grand Rapids Police Department participated in the Run with Cops at the Centralia Center in Wisconsin Rapids to support the Special Olympics athletes across Wisconsin. October 7th, the Grand Rapids Fire Department, Grand Rapids Police Department, the auxiliary attended the final alarm ceremony for Riley Harris and added his name to the State Fire Memorial in Wisconsin Rapids. There was also a final alarm procession that evening, and he'll be sorely missed. October 11th, Mel participated in the Criminal Justice Studies and Law Enforcement 720 Advisory Committee meeting at Midstate. They discussed topics concerning updates, enrollment, recruitment, internship, and the general criminal justice studies program. There's also one of the topics they talked about as far as the 720 Academy was officer wellness and proposed changes to their studies. Also on October 11th, Grand Rapids Police Department and the Wood County Sheriff's Department participated in a community bike ride around Lake Wazeecha. They advised it was a good ride that night and can't wait for the next event. On October 20th, Mel attended the fall legislative breakfast at Midstate, listened to state legislators, local community officials, and other government officials regarding topics that affect our local community. The breakfast was hosted by the Heart of Wisconsin Chamber of Commerce. On October 28th, the Grand Rapids Police Department, the Auxiliary, Wisconsin Rapids Police Department, the Sheriff Department, and Pick and Save hosted the prescription drug take-back event at Pick and Save in Wisconsin Rapids between 10 and 2. They collected 258 pounds of unwanted, expired, unused pharmaceuticals at Pick and Save. In addition, the town of Grand Rapids collected 56 pounds of unwanted, expired, or unused pharmaceuticals in the drop box here at the front office. It was disposed in Wausau and was transported by the Grand Rapids Police Department and Nukusa Police Department. Mel would like to thank the Grand Rapids Auxiliary Police for assisting with traffic direction at the Ridges Golf Course for the 2023 WIA Cross Country meet on October 28th. They also assisted with extra patrol duties during Halloween. The participation helped ensure everyone had a safe and enjoyable Halloween. Vehicles in the department are doing well outside of normal maintenance and minor repairs. Does the board have any questions? All right, thank you.
David,
Yes.
would you be able to just highlight the speed limits of our new roundabout? I know some people are quite aggressive when they're coming off of the 45. They may not realize the reduction of speed.
So, I don't remember the exact, I know there's a change, I believe it's between 42nd and 45th where it drops down to 35 miles an hour. Obviously 48th Street has always been, well, in the last few years has been 35 on 48th Street. And then I believe right where the Autism Center is where it changes, coming westbound, it changes to 35 through the roundabout.
And the speed limit through the roundabout is 15, if I understand that correctly.
I would honestly have to look. I don't know off the top of my
It
head.
is.
It's 15, but it's advisory. I don't know what that means to law enforcement. It's an orange or a yellow sign.
That would be advisory, meaning you might want to do 15. But, you know, I think from my aspect, the roundabout has been doing good. It's really moved traffic, the north-south stuff, really well. I personally haven't experienced any crashes or anything like that in the roundabout since it
Okay.
opened. And I haven't heard anything from any of the other guys about any crashes or anything in the roundabout. So I think it's doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, my concern was just the reduction of speed, people not realizing that it goes from 45 to 35, because I pay attention to the speed limits, and I, personally myself, there was a gentleman that was like 2 feet off my bumper and blowing his horn when I went down to 35 miles an hour. So I just thought maybe he didn't realize that I was following the speed limit, and he was not, so I just thought it would maybe help just to talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah, and we can do some extra patrol in the area just to kind of see where we're at, and we'll just plan accordingly as far as patrol and activities from the police department as far as the speed and stuff through there.
Thank you.
So you're welcome.
And treasurer report.
The month of October, our receipts were $109,906.17. Our disbursements were $194,922.04. Our checking account has a balance of $76,358.85. Our repo account has $7. Money market, $333,356.84. The tax accounts are $451.49. Outstanding checks are $66,209.29. For a total in our everyday accounts, $343,964.89. Our ARPA account has a balance of $675,784.23 for an overall balance of $1,019,749.12.
Okay, thank you. All right, agenda item number 6, consideration and possible action on resolution 2023-07, authorizing the removal of stop signs on 48th Street South at the intersection of 48th Street South and Wazeecha Avenue. I'm gonna hand it over to you, Mike, to just kind of give a brief.
This was brought up to us, started by Roland. It goes back to the right in, the right outs, but people are still using Wazeecha as a shortcut. And they get behind 2 cars or 3 cars and they cut down Wazeecha. So with the removal of the stop sign, he's hoping that in the finishing of the roundabout, by removing the stop signs, we should help to improve more or make the flow through the roundabout even better and keep the people going through it instead of taking shortcuts and side streets. So, and that's why we asked for that to be put on there. You got a question, Bill?
Before a motion, can we ask him a question?
I don't, we
Yes,
can,
we can.
it's fine.
So was this taken up with your committee at all? Or was it just Roland? Because I talked to Roland about this.
No, it actually started with Mel and I watching the traffic going down Wazeecha.
Do you have a traffic count on it? Have you counted how many cars?
We have not counted the cars on it. It's all visual as to what we're seeing going on. And the people, all you have to do is sit there and watch. You can see the people coming and going.
Was it thought of the fact that there's a lot of people on bicycles in the summertime going to the park?
Yep.
And they're used to somebody stopping on 48th Street, and now they're not. And I understand there's a lot of people that are on bicycles don't. And this will
Just
slow
about
down.
99% of them don't stop on a bicycle. So,
Okay,
which should be
That's
ticketed.
another problem.
So,
So when you're going, we have a new crosswalk now for the new path that
yeah.
comes across, and I see it's all striped out. Wouldn't it be better if people were slowing down for a stop sign or coming this other way? I just don't think it was given to the town itself, the town board itself, or even to your committee. So that's my thoughts on it.
I was reviewing this, and I totally understand where you and Roland were thinking about this, and I've traveled that intersection quite a bit, and I've seen so many times where people blow through the stop signs both ways, and I don't know if removing it is helpful. I know on 48th Street and Washington Street, we added a stop sign there because of the severe accidents that had happened prior years, because of the fact it was a distance of travel. They were just zoned out, and they just would not even realize that there were stop signs there, and then they would blow through that. So I'm not comfortable with, I'm not comfortable with removing those stop signs there. I understand the process of it, but I just don't feel very comfortable about it. I know during our plan commission, we talked about the right in and right out, as Matthew had talked about, just because of the Dollar General being there, and they were concerned about the car count and turning in and out of Dollar General. And the more I hear more about that right in and right out on that road, I'm almost thinking that that is more of the answer than removing the stop signs at this time. But that's my personal feeling on this. So just because of that, when it comes to voting on this, I'm gonna vote against it because I feel that the right in, right out is more effective than removing the stop signs.
Yeah, I'll give a little feedback as well. So I agree with removing the stop signs. I do have some reservations with removing the stop signs without doing something about that intersection over there. Because I'm concerned the traffic's still not going to stop and then there will be accidents, kind of the suggestion that was made, or closing it, or whatever it might be. I think I would be more comfortable approving taking stop signs out if we could do it in conjunction with something over there.
I feel the exact same way you do. That was kind of the feeling I had going through this is, you know, it's kind of the whole picture, to take a look at the whole picture and kind of do that holistically with that road, with 45th also.
I've traveled it numerous times a day, and the people turning onto 45th onto Wazeecha Ave, as I go through the roundabout, we nearly identically meet at the stop sign. I don't know where people get that it's a shortcut, because we're just creatures of habit and we've taken that way our whole time. I totally agree with Amber and Jeff about addressing that 45th Street exit. I would like to see it closed myself.
So could we make a motion just to table this, to talk more about it in depth, to come up with a plan versus moving forward?
Madam Chair,
Yep,
if I could.
sure.
So you certainly could do that. I know, I think it just, to be fair, I think there were discussions and recommendations as well for addressing 45th. So just to point that out, that I think there was a desire to examine that. What you could do is potentially refer this to Public Works, have them review this along with 45th and make a recommendation to the board, and then take up that as a whole if you chose to do that. Those would all be options on the resolution, is what I'm saying.
Your opinion on 45th, Mike?
Realistically, I think it should be closed, to be honest with you.
What do you think, Dave, as far as the enforcement end of that?
As far as the 48th Street or 45th Street?
45th? Both. How about both? How about your opinion on both?
I think the stop signs would be beneficial to be removed. But in doing that, I agree with Mike that we need to close off 45th Street to get it one direction, to use the roundabout, because it'll make it safer. You know, time will tell how well the roundabout works. I mean, it's working fine now, but we'll see what happens as time goes on. There's also an aspect of people doing more speed on 48th Street if we take the stop signs out, but only time will tell, you know. We're still enforcing that intersection. You know, Mel had one the other day that drove straight through, came off the roundabout and just kept on going south. So, you know, and Mike's right, there's bicyclists that don't stop at that intersection. And a lot of people that I talk to say, I didn't realize that vehicle law pertained to bicycles at stop signs.
Madam Chair, if you would request a motion, I would make such a motion.
From what Nick said?
Do you want do you want a motion
Yes.
on item number 6?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I make a motion that we table this for further action by the Public Safety Committee and make a recommendation to come back.
Public safety or public works?
Public Works, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Do you want to table it to December's meeting then?
Whenever they come back with,
Is Nick,
With their recommendation.
Well, I'm just trying to think of how we fill in the action taken. So we have a table, or we have a refer. Are you asking to have it referred to the Public Works?
yes.
okay, so no table, just refer
No.
to Public Works, okay.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Alright. Agenda item number 7 is consideration and possible action on resolution 2023-08 to provide substitution for a treasurer's bond.
You can make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right, agenda item number 8, consideration and possible action obligating the remaining ARPA funds for road construction and maintenance projects. Do we have a motion?
So you're looking for a motion just to, do we have to put a dollar amount on
Here.
that motion?
I give it to you all in highlighted form.
That's right, you did. Make a motion to the remaining $184,957.48 of ARPA funds to road construction and maintenance projects, as well as re-obligate the remaining balance of the $190,000 obligated for roundabout projects that won't be utilized for the 48th Street Griffith roundabout to road construction and maintenance projects.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Any discussion?
Yes, I am voting against this because I think we should be considering the water problems we have in this town. I know we didn't have a lot of rain now, but there's nothing on that. And to spend this just on roads where we got additional money for roads this year, I think is skating some of the problems that could be solved. So I'll be voting no on it.
Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed?
Nay.
Okay. So agenda item number 9, operating license applications, we don't have any. And then agenda item number 10, October disbursement vouchers.
I have one question in regards to, what could be on page. Stapled. 20, page 18. For the office and general government expenses.
Oh, are you on the packet from earlier in the meeting?
This one.
From the
Yeah,
financial
one that we
packet?
signed,
Oh,
yeah.
no, that's not the one you signed, that's the one that was with the treasurer report.
Oh.
The one we sign is just
Oh,
the,
sorry.
the checks.
Can I ask you a question about this one? We just had on there the office expense. We had budgeted for like 2,700 and its fiscal year to date was 10,000. Was there something?
You said page 18?
Yeah. It's this one. Oops, sorry, I'm seeing it. Am I looking at?
Oh, that's page 23.
Oh, 23.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, that's because of the new phone system, because we didn't budget for the phones, so that
Oh,
expense went
that's
into
why.
that.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yep.
All right, monthly reports from committees. Public Works. Oh, we did the road ride, and then we're just waiting on estimates for next steps. Airport Commission.
We did not meet this month. Tentative December 7th next meeting. That has not been confirmed, but is historically the first Thursday.
Recycling, Solid Waste, and Water.
We did not meet.
Plan Commission.
We'll be meeting next Monday.
Okay, Public Buildings, we did not meet. Legislative, Nick, you said we can get a date?
Yeah, we do have enough items, certainly more than enough actually, for a legislative committee meeting. If you all want to take a look at your availability, we could certainly schedule one at this point and keep that up.
Is there a day that works best for you? Funny you should ask, he says.
Well, start with maybe you all, and
Okay.
I don't know if you're thinking yet this month or next month.
Thanksgiving dinner.
Would not work for me.
Would not work for me either. 21 or 22, does anybody have those days open? If you want to do it this month.
22 is on.
20. It's a no,
22
you
is a
said?
no. 21?
I can't.
Okay.
Then we're into December.
Or Thursday, November 30th.
That's a negative.
Okay. December
29th,
is.
we already have a meeting that day.
Yep.
Right.
So,
December 5th or 6th.
I'm available either day.
Nick won't be on the 6th.
Oh,
The 5th
that's
the 5th
right.
would work for me. The 5th would work.
5th?
Mhm.
December 5.
Should work.
That works for me.
Okay.
Okay.
And what time?
I can do any time.
I can be here 4:30, 4:45.
What works for you?
Yeah,
Or do you want to
anytime.
do 6?
Those can run long, can't
They can go long. Yep.
they? You want to
Maybe
start earlier?
5
work?
o'clock?
5.
All right, I will work on preparing the agenda, and you will have packets well in advance of that meeting.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
Record. All right, public safety,
We did not meet.
economic development, we didn't meet either. Personnel did not meet, and WTA meeting.
The BTA meeting, they met on October 20th, and it was held in the town of Wood, up in Pittsville. And Jason Gutenberg from Wood County Planning and Zoning Director was there speaking the topic on solar farm and construction activities in Wood County. And there's a lot of them going on in Wood County. Very lengthy discussion it was. State Senator Ceci James was there from the 23rd District, which part of Wood County. And Donna Rosar, also representative from the Marshfield area. And 69th Assembly District she comes from. And they discussed their various committees and the different bills that they're going through on legislation now. Steve Nickerson and Jack from the Towns Association Directors talked about the LRIP program for this year, and we have none this year, but the other one was spoken about that we do have. And there's no meeting in November. It's holy month because of deer season. So, and the town of Arpin will be the host of the meeting on December 1st in the town of Arpin. That's all I have.
Okay.
And you all get minutes of this too. so.
Okay. Reports from individual town board members. Jeff?
I just want to say thanks to staff and thanks to the supervisors going through the budget process. I know it was a pretty lengthy process, and just appreciate the questions I had and getting them answered, and kind of the extra effort to kind of go through and make the changes and getting things done. So thank you for all that.
Jason?
I'm good, but likewise with Jeff too, it was quite smooth for
Patty?
my first time.
Oh, sorry.
Problem.
Yeah, ditto on the budget. It did go really well, and we had a lot of things explained prior to it, so there weren't a whole lot of questions. So I know you put a lot of effort into it, so good job.
Thank you.
And I just want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving.
Just the budget meeting we're talking about, for the rest of the people here, it's going to be on November 29th at 7 p.m., correct?
Yep.
And it's going to be at the fire station?
Yes.
We're at the fire station. And happy Thanksgiving.
All right. And I don't have anything. All right, next agenda item is public input. People wishing to address the board will be limited to 2 minutes each, with public input limited to a total of 16 minutes. Yep.
For what it's worth, I noticed the speed limit on Wazeecha east of 48th Street is 25 miles an hour. Speed limit west of it is 35 miles an hour. If you're looking for some traffic calming, I'm guessing part of the rationale for the reduced speed limit east of that is for bicycle traffic and pedestrians maybe, I don't know. But consider extending the speed limit to 25 back to 45th Street, possibly.
And is 45th Street, is that on the south side of W? That's not Wazeecha? Does 45th Street go across?
Yes.
Yes.
There's no sign that says that.
Yep, sure.
Again, Matt Bronson, thank you for consideration, I think, of the intersection. I think you head in the right direction, looking at the intersection at 45th and W. But just to remember, from a safety perspective, no matter what you do with traffic, you're going to have those angles that are going to be difficult. And I am concerned about, maybe you eliminate people going through the stop signs, they're just not there, but you might have more crashes you're reporting, going to, or people just not seeing, not really no fault of their own other than their vehicle and what they can see when they're sitting there. So I'd be more than happy to offer my time if there's, if there's anything I can help with from an engineering standpoint, if the Public Works and the board like any of my advice. So.
Thank you.
Money.
I'd like to speak. Douglas Kiesling, I live over on Warwick Avenue. I'm also happy that you're tabling it and taking into consideration, but I and my wife just feel like just creatures of habit. If you eliminate that four-way stop, I'm speculating that you're going to have more accidents there than you have in the past with all the traffic that's going out to the lake on bicycles. And with the odd angles, I think you're asking for trouble, and I don't quite see the rationale. If you close 45 and leave the four-way stop, you're in effect going to force people to use the roundabout, and you're going to accomplish what you really want to accomplish, but you're not going to be addressing the safety issue at that intersection. So just please consider that.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Future agenda items. Do you have anything?
Just, I guess the referral, once you
yeah.
guys meet, but.
Okay. And is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye.